And there goes my phone. Probably a telemarketer. Screw that. This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, ignoring the phone ringing because I don't give a crap. Here we are in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada, here on January the 18th, 2022. And I'm still not answering that phone. Boy, they're persistent. They're persistent. They probably want to ask me about my credit card or something like that.
Car warranty.
Car warranty. Oh, they finally hung up. They finally got the nerve to hang up. I had one day there, it rang some 18 or 20 times. I'm like, look, if I don't answer after the fourth ring, it's pretty much a done deal, you know? But anyway, folks, I'm looking at a clean shaven Scotty McCoy on here today. Like
Yep. You're not used to it. This is the first time in 6 interviews I've been shaved.
Actually, you know what? There's nothing about you I'm used to. Well, you can shave, but Brett Harris is not allowed to.
No, I wanted him to for Samhain, but he's like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And it's one of the decisions that I made that I'm glad I was wrong about.
He's gonna keep that beard. About the same as asking Troy Elke to shave. No.
Yep. Exactly. No reason to.
Yeah. I got Brett Harris scheduled to come on here in a couple days, and
nice.
We're going to talk about his trauma viewing your boxers on set and making him eat stale cereal.
Your old cereal. God, he said this is some killer cereal, and the viewers don't realize that those words are probably more true than they realize.
Is that the same cereal that the girl drowned it in?
Yes, it was.
Oh, so she was eating stale cereal too.
She didn't take any bites of it, but she had her face plummeted right into the milk to drown. But yeah. And then if you look closely, we couldn't get it to stay on, but on her head it spells out Sammy, S-A-M-I, because it's alphabet cereal. So, yep. Yeah.
You have way too much time on your hands.
Yes, I do.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm so glad you get to have me on 6th time. And I mean, I come on usually every January, and we started the trend a couple years ago to have you on my show every December, which is really exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I like coming on there, and
yeah.
And here we are in the middle of oh, I wish it would fuck off.
It was close to going away, it seemed like, and then bam, Omicron or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm just gonna say it right now. Unless it's absolutely necessary, I'm not getting the booster. I've gotten the 2 shots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not getting any more.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm actually scheduled for my booster on Friday, and I read online that most places, specifically traveling, like when you travel, whether it's by plane, cruise ship, or going to a new state/country, it's you have to have the 2 shots plus the booster. And somebody put a comment: what happens if what are we gonna do? Like having to get boosters to move? And somebody said there's 6 slots on your card for a reason. Yeah.
I never had to have a booster to go to Toronto last fall.
They're starting it up again. I know they're starting it up. I know in Hawaii, they just made a press release that to go to Hawaii, you need to have both shots and the booster in order to go into their country. And if you don't, it's okay, you can visit, but you have to mandatory quarantine for at least 2 weeks before you can actually explore the island.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I just saw it yesterday.
Enough is enough with this, you know. Yep. It's like fuck off with this, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. I don't know if they're gonna start it for like every place or if every place is gonna be separate. I know Hawaii's doing it mainly because they're off the mainland of the United States and they're like a number one like tourist attraction. So they kind of want to protect their, I guess, their citizens since it's not like, just driving across the border. But I don't know if other states or restaurants or establishments or movie theaters or whatever will follow suit. I don't know what the future holds. I just seen this from, I believe it was either ABC News or CNN or something like that, posted it on Facebook yesterday. Yeah.
You know what? I'm getting tired of being told I need to poke holes into my body. I'm not a drug addict, like stop,
Right.
like
Yeah.
I got the 2 shots
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to travel to Toronto.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired. This is so 666 mark of the beast right now. It's
Yeah.
not funny. And that's
Yeah.
it just feels like we're getting close to that. And I'm
Yep.
sorry, but I'm not accepting that mark on my forehead or on the back of my hand or any of that shit,
Right.
but I'm getting tired of this government trying to control everybody. And that's really what's coming down to right now.
Yeah. I agree.
Because somebody is making a hell of a lot of money off of this and doesn't want it to go away.
Yep.
Just gonna
And
say
I
it.
mean, I don't have a problem getting the booster and everything like that, but if I know or knew or anything, of course, if it's the mark of the beast, no, I'd rather starve.
Well, I don't think this is the mark of the beast. I think,
No.
biblically we're going to know that.
Yeah, we're gonna know that, but I'm just saying like I don't mind getting the boost or whatever because I like to travel, I like to go on vacations and all that. So if I need to get all these shots or whatever, I'd like to actually be caught up so I can do that. But mark of the beast type of stuff, yeah, that's I would never do something like that.
But
Especially with my family coming from Christianity and me being a Christian myself, I wouldn't do it.
but it's getting to the point now. It's just like with these cars you're seeing, that solar cars that you plug in or whatever. And you know why? I mean, that thing there, they would take off like wildfire. There's just one thing that's stopping it. People making money off of the fuel. Yep. It's all about money.
Yeah. It
And
really is.
I'm under
money makes the world go around.
And I'm under the impression that this whole thing with the vaccine it seems to me right now about money.
Yeah, I mean, everybody got the vaccine for like polio and measles or whatever, but the thing they don't realize is that those vaccines, I mean, I'm not discrediting the fact that these were tested and everything, the ones that were taken now, but the vaccine for measles and and hep and all that other stuff is like they took years to get made and approved and put into people before, and this only was like not even a year before we got the COVID-19 vaccine initially approved and tested.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm tired of it. I got my flu shot last fall. I always get my flu shot. I got my 2 vaccines. But I'm really not going to be too damn impressed if I get pushed into getting a booster. It's like, leave me the fuck alone,
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-vaccine or any of that stuff. And I'm not saying COVID doesn't exist. I'm saying get rid of the damn thing.
Right.
It was brought in here somehow. Get rid of it,
Yeah.
Yep. So not liking that.
I know.
But yep. But anyway, you asked me before I started recording if I saw the new Scream, and our theater is closed for 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, 2 weeks my ass. They'll keep that closed.
Yeah.
I'm one of these people. I still like going to the theater. I went last Friday before it closed. I thought, well, I usually go to 1 movie a week, but I decided to see 2 to make up for the week I'm going to miss. So I went to see Scream and I saw Belle, and enjoyed both. I've seen now all the Scream movies in the theater, every one of them. And frankly, I thought this latest one was the best one since the original. My opinion. Some people have mixed feelings about that, but
I agree personally.
Yeah. Yep. I wish Courtney Cox would lay off the plastic surgery.
Yeah. She was so pretty, like in Friends and even the
Yep.
earlier installments. Like I thought she was the prettiest in Scream 2.
Mhm.
I loved her hairstyle and everything, and I thought she was so pretty. And in this one, you can kind of see if you watch, like if you like do like a flip book or whatever of all of her characters stills from Scream 2, 3, 4, and 5, you can see them. Definitely the Botox working as she ages, and I feel I'm not making fun of her for any means, but it's just I mean she was such a pretty lady, and I think she should have like just aged naturally, and I think she would have been gorgeous.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I had Sean Clark on here last night and he brought that up,
Mhm.
the fact that Nev Campbell is aging naturally
Yeah,
and Courtney Cox, like I said, I
yeah,
thought she was the hottest of the Friends females
yeah.
back in the day, and now I'm like, I like
And it's funny,
stop.
like Jennifer Aniston and Lisa Kudrow. I mean, obviously Lisa Kudrow didn't get any type of work done. Jennifer Aniston did, but it's paying off for her because she still looks as gorgeous and as young as she did in Friends, in my opinion. Lisa Kudrow, she's aging naturally and she's still a knockout. Like she really is. She's absolutely beautiful as she was in Friends.
I like her in Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. That's to me is always gonna be my callback on Kudrow,
Nice, nice,
her and Mira Sorvino.
nice.
But yeah, but this whole thing is just tiring, and I don't like even like I said, I like watching stuff on the big screen. I was disappointed I didn't get to see 13 Fanboy in the theater.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get to see it in the theater?
Not in the theater. It wasn't near me. I spoke to Debbie Sue and gave her a couple of theaters near my area of Pennsylvania and near my areas in Maryland because I commute from both locations.
Mhm.
Because I live in both states. But I gave her a list and none of them made the cut, which is unfortunate. But I got it off of Amazon Prime, and I believe I get the DVD as a perk too. But I got it off
I
of
gave
Amazon
up
Prime.
all my perks.
Yeah, I got it off of Amazon Prime, and me and my boyfriend and his aunt, we end up watching it on Halloween. We watched it, which was pretty cool.
I regret watching it.
Mhm.
I should have stood my ground and said, you know what? If it's not going to play in a theater where I can experience it with an audience, fuck it.
Yeah, yeah,
I went and I got it off of YouTube and was $6.99 and I watched it. And I watched it because I didn't need it spoiled for me the way Halloween Kills was,
right.
because everybody and their dog decides to do that because they want hits and likes and
Yep,
views and all that.
yep,
But I should have just stood my ground and not bothered.
yeah.
Yep. I
Same
gave
with
them
Scream, like just spoilers for Scream. The point, like 13 Fanboy is similar to Scream. You don't know who the killers are until the end, really. Like you kind of keep the guessing game up, and seeing who they are before you watch it, it entirely ruins the experience of first time viewership. Like
yeah.
I was off Facebook the day and a half before, like all of opening night Friday, and I was off of Facebook until I saw it on Saturday at early afternoon because I could not stand like seeing who the killers are because I'd go into it being beyond mad, spending over $100 on 2 tickets and food and everything like that. It's just it would totally ruin the experience, and why would I want to waste my money and my fun watching it?
Yep. But no, I gave them our theater Cineplex, and of course I told Debbie Sue I was going to be in Toronto for Frightmare in
Yeah,
the Falls, which I figured Toronto would be the ideal place because lots of theaters there where I
yeah,
could see it, but didn't make the cut. And I'm kind of like, you know what? I should never have seen it online. I
yeah,
shouldn't. I should have just fuck it. But
yeah,
I saw it and I thought the finished product was terrific. I thought Debbie Sue did a fine job with the film, but I recently renounced my perks for the film.
yep,
Yep, I don't particularly care with how the Doubtfire Face challenge was
Mhm.
viewed.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate people that's done it. You did it. Troy
Yep,
Elke,
twice.
Jason Bradford, you know,
Hmm.
and then, you know, Noelle Berger did it, you know, and I was happy Ron Sloan did it.
Tori Wilson.
Yeah, Tori Wilson did it. James Ellsworth, Teal Piper, Nancy McLaughlin, Lisa Langlois, Sandy Johnson.
Hmm.
I showed Sandy Johnson's Doubtfire challenge to Felissa Rose at Frightmare in the Falls because she nominated her, and Felissa, she's totally down for it. And
Yeah.
she said she wants to do it with her nominees, and she's nominating Dave Sheridan, Alex Vincent, and Christina Lease.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
That'd be
but
cool.
and Lar Park Lincoln said she's down for it once she heals up.
Yeah.
And it would be so great to get a final girl because
Yeah.
Adrienne King's been nominated 5 times, and it's gotten to the point now where she doesn't talk to me, probably because of this. And but I mean, when I purchased a Friday the 13th script from her, I mean, she's very communal, but I'm just tired.
Hmm.
You know, I basically got to be made feel like I did when I was in school, where I felt like shit all the time because I wasn't very
Yeah.
popular, you know.
Right.
So I know you and Jimmy Presley did a really good Doubtfire challenge, and but people want to see the bigger names do
Bigger
it.
names doing it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
I think I already mentioned the story behind Judy Aronson. I wasn't
Yep.
happy about. You know, she originally was on board to do it through Cameo. And the following year, when after COVID was starting to light up at that time, threw it out there again. And, oh, this doesn't feel right for me. Please withdraw your request. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you. You know, I hope she got paid well with what I've been told, $3,000 I put into 13 Fanboy.
Yep.
Um, love Tracy Savage, but she's passing on it, and that cut was kind of heartbreaking. But I'm not pissed at Tracy Savage the way I am at Judy, though. I think Judy, I feel played, especially when Ted White initially put me in, gave me the contact info for her. So, you know, and even Debbie Sue, when I was talking to her last, she was an hour late getting onto my show. And I was getting ready to pack up to leave to go back to work because I really was doing the interview in the midst of 2 locations I was cleaning at. And I messaged her on Facebook Messenger, email, text. I did everything except for send a pigeon out with a note. Finally, she got back to me, and I don't know why she was late. And quite frankly, I wasn't going to ruffle her feathers about it. She didn't look like she wanted
Right.
to talk about it, but she also didn't sound very intrigued about the Doubtfire challenge either. That was for suicide and depression awareness. And I look at it this way: I put $3,000 in that movie, and I was happy to have my picture in the film, happy to be a co-producer. But if I may quote a line from Christmas Evil, I know the tune. I know the tune they dance to. So
Yeah.
basically, I'm not part of the clique, and
Yeah.
people can say I sound bitter. And I know Jason Bradford said I shouldn't air my grievances. I am airing my grievances. It's my show, and
Hmm.
I'm not pleased how things turned out with that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
so I told I put the post on Debbie Sue's horror site. I said anybody wants my perks, PM Debbie Sue.
Hmm.
Debbie Sue's never asked me what the issue was. Put a friggin' heart emoji by it. Like, first time she's acknowledged something I put on there, I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
I don't feel part of it. And I just got It's Me Billy on Blu-ray. Why isn't 13 Fanboy on Blu-ray?
Mhm.
Don't send me a fucking DVD,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So nope, I don't need it.
Yeah.
Send the perks to somebody else. I don't give a shit
Right.
anymore. Yep.
Yeah.
Far as I'm concerned, I did not count.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yep. However, I'm going to get the last laugh if I see any of these people at cons. Yeah.
Yep.
That's where I get the last laugh. Yeah. That's where I can have my fun.
Nice.
Yep. Because you see, they're there to make money, and I can just respond like the Doubtfire challenge. I'll pass.
Yep.
Or in Judy Aronson's case, I could look at her table and say, well, this doesn't feel right for me.
Through that.
Yep. Hey, it works both ways.
Does.
She doesn't seem to think of that though when she pulls
Mhm.
these stunts. So
Yep. Yeah.
And I loved how Tori Wilson did it without question. She knew what it was all about. Jillian Garcia, who I think is a big fucking idiot, responds on Cameo and says Cameo's for birthday shout outs and blah blah blah. I'm like, no, it's for whatever you want it to be.
Right. Who's this? Lillian Garcia?
Huh?
Lillian
Or no,
Garcia.
oh, Lillian Garcia, that's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Ring announcer, WWE. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and she can't even do that right, Alex. She does trip going up the ramp, but no, let's put Lillian Garcia into perspective.
Right.
She says it's only for shout outs and birthdays because it's an easy way for her to make quick money to do fuck all nothing.
Right. Yep.
Yep. Hey, happy birthday. I'm putting on a smile, but really, I'm just, thank you for the money. I'm going to pretend to be sincere. Tori Wilson was sincere. She talked about suicide and depression. She took the pie in the face. She was such a trooper about it.
Mm-hmm.
Tori Wilson, I'll gladly go meet at a WrestleCon.
Yep.
Lillian Garcia, oh, fuck you. Boy, I sound bitter today. Yeah.
It's not, instead of it being Christmas, it's Festivus from Seinfeld. You're airing your grievances. That's one of the laws of the Festivus dinner. You air your grievances.
Yep. I'll air my grievances. Just like you aired your boxers on the set of Samhain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This man was traumatized.
Oh, look at that. Oh boy, oh boy.
Yep, my little relic.
Himself.
Yep, my little relic, buddy.
I'll be talking to him in a couple days.
Can't wait. I will definitely be watching that one. I love me some Brett. Then of course I want to show this. Who's that handsome fellow?
Oh, that's Bret Harrison there. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's that woman that doesn't like me. Yeah, Amanda don't like me much. Oh well. I'm through trying to please her. Anyway, you got a new project coming out.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Called 72. Actually, I'm wondering if I got over here your Blu-ray for Samhain. I'm wondering if I got that right here so I can show it off. Let me see.
I think my boxers that I have in the movie that I wear in the movie are in the bedroom, where I would bring them out. Show my face all over them.
Ah,
There it is.
I didn't like it, but here
Right.
it is.
You're not in the minority for that, and I will be honest, it's my movie, but I will admit it isn't the greatest movie. Limited funds, first project, inexperienced, lousy director, some lousy acting, depending on the actor.
But
But
I'll say this:
overall,
look, you made a
yeah,
movie, man. You
that's what I
made
was
a
gonna say.
movie.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. First
yeah.
movie too, so it was definitely a learning experience, and we learned a lot in terms of camera angles and post production and just how to spend our money properly and marketing and all that different stuff. We just learned so much from that movie, and we used our mistakes and how we learned from them, and we adapted them into our Friday the 13th short fan film that we made. Obviously it wasn't nothing major, it was filmed in 2 days, and the script was written in like an hour or two. It was just something quick, but the SFX were a lot better than Samhain, obviously. And then now we have our new project coming out, 72, which is starting post-production, but looking at the footage is 10 times better than Samhain, I guarantee it.
I'd love to see Amanda Sawyer in a disaster film to watch her reaction. Oh, I see the waves are sweeping up over the horizon. They'll be here in a minute. Yeah. There you go, you cut. Was that take good?
Yep.
I'm just going on based on she playing a character that was supposedly dragged by her hair past a cemetery, which we don't see on screen. And she just comes in and sits down and talks like somebody just bought in line in front of her in Walmart. Or the woman playing her mom who sounds like she's reading off a teleprompter.
Yep. That was one of the acting issues that we didn't like. Yeah, that one, and of course Canyon, who played Jamie, like just showed absolute no emotion. The death was so creative for that. Like, you don't think you've ever seen a drowning before in a cereal bowl. And just her acting was subpar, and I mean she was good in her audition, but on set it just didn't. It wasn't the way we expected, and we tried teaching her how to like show emotion and offering her eye drops, and she just wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Well, you could have showed her come on set in her boxers. I guarantee she would have got emotional then. Yeah, Amanda hated when I brought that up a lot online.
Yep.
But you know what? Fuck it. Take a chill
Right.
pill. Take a chill pill, Yep.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, your new film, 72. Why do you call it 72?
So it's pretty much, we got inspiration to an extent from the whole COVID-19 pandemic. So basically it was originally called Killer Party, right? So what happened is when Carl was writing the script, he ended up coming up, as he was writing it, he's like, I'm really not liking Killer Party as the title. It just doesn't, there's not enough partying for it to be called a killer party. And so he ended up, as he was writing the script, and he wrote this one specific line. I don't know the line verbatim, but it pretty much was saying that there's a mandatory 72-hour quarantine for everybody in the world. So everybody has to quarantine for 72 hours. You can't just you have to quarantine for 72 hours. If everybody does this, nobody leaves their house, then the virus will be gone. So we have a group of 8 friends that are camping. They decided we're all safe, and they want to get away from civilization. So they go out, and we call them the campers. So they go out in the woods or out where there's really no people, and they end up quarantining for their 72 hours away from everybody, because they all know that they are all safe. But little do they know, somebody in that party doesn't have they have the virus, and they don't realize it because they have no symptoms at all, and they don't know who it is, and then it just starts taking these people one by one. And we also have a group of 3 news people, a weatherman, a weather person, a cameraman, and a news anchor, and they are basically talking about the virus and what is up, the updates are out on the streets, and what's going on with this virus, how people are turning into what we call the V's, which I'm not going to say much about that. All I like to say is watch the movie, you'll see what the V's are. And pretty much they're talking about this virus, and then we have another group called the 3, and they are people that waited for basically martial law to happen, and they end up basically looting, murdering, doing all these different things that they can possibly do because they realize that the government is pretty much shut down and there's no law enforcement whatsoever, and basically chaos is running amok. And then at the end of the movie, the surviving group members of the 3 groups, the news team and the campers, their stories mingle and mesh with each other and kind of come full circle together. And it's really good. It's really well written. We have really well acting. It's a lot better than Sound. I'll give you my word on that.
Is Amanda in it?
Amanda's in it. She is in it. She plays Tiffany Brandt, who is the news anchor for the news team. Now, I wasn't on set when they filmed the news reporter scenes. I know they had because of where they had to film it at, it was like the setting was in a miniature apartment. So they filmed it in one of the, I think it was Melissa who plays the weather woman. She her name is hell's her name? I forgot her name. Oh, Renee Kelly. She plays her is in her apartment because her apartment's smaller. So they play that's where they film a lot of the scenes. So they only could have them 3 in there to film it because it would just be too cramped, too many shadows, or people, it just would be too much for the camera, and all the microphones would pick up all the sound and all that. So it was better off just them 3 filmed their scenes separately outside of our main scenes. So yeah.
Is Brett in it?
Brett is in it. He plays Rich, who is married to the character Jill. And he is basically like one of the leads. He's like I guess you could say, quote unquote, the father figure of the group. And he's got a really decent role, and he did pretty good with it. And of course, if you watched him in Samhain and seen his one-liners as Relic, which none of them
is he go eat stale cereal in this one?
He will not eat. He will not eat stale cereal.
Oh, come on, make him eat stale cereal again. I'd make that an ongoing thing.
But he did play he has a good character, and if you watch him in Sound, and if you're familiar with his one-liners as Relic, none of those one-liners were written. I gave him full full authority and full creative control over his character and what he wanted to say after each death, and he does some of his amazing one-liners in not one-liners but like sarcasm, sassy jokes, and that in 72, which had us pretty much trying not to laugh when the cameras were rolling because we didn't want to have to redo it because it was that good the first time. Yeah.
Is Tyler Ebert in it?
Tyler is not in it. He did.
Why not?
We asked him to audition, but he never sent us an audition tape. So we weren't just hiring people that we knew.
Go to his house and get
it. we were doing like with. The difference between Samhain and 72 is with Samhain, I was the only one running it. I had Amanda and Shane as my executive team, and then I had like a director, of course, and all that. And Carl was like a production assistant and all that. But we didn't I was pretty much calling the shots at that point. I was the final say. And during auditions, we only auditioned off a couple of people, and all my friends really got the main roles. Whereas with 72. Me and Carl are now co-owners of Gravestone Films, and he's a very genius as a director and writer and camera guy, cinematographer, director, photography, whatever you want to say. But he is really good at that stuff, and I wanted him to be co-owner. And we decided that we were going to do auditions separately and differently, and we weren't going to just hire people that we knew. We were going to give the people that send in a really good audition tape, and we were going to have an executive meeting and determine who we think is best for these parts, because we didn't want bad acting like Samhain. So I think I would say, my honest opinion, I think we got the best people for the jobs.
Okay. How far into you are or filming 72 now?
So we are done filming for the most part. We just have
Are
a
you
couple
really
of,
done?
yes, we started in July. We filmed
Okay.
4 days in July. We filmed 3 or 4 days in August, and we filmed, I believe, 2 days in September. And then the news reporter scenes filmed, I believe, 2 or 3 days in September as well. And we did finish principal photography. We are heading into post-production. We have a couple of things we have to fill. Like we have Indiegogo perks. So some people weren't able to come on set, so we wrote them roles for virtual roles that actually made sense with the script. So I have one more virtual scene to film. I filmed the other two, but I have one more to film on over Zoom, and then I'll send that over to Carl. And then we have a couple of scenes that we need to film in the spring, very small scenes. I can't really say what they are because of spoilers, but we have a couple of smaller scenes that we have to film in the spring. But other than that, we're pretty much done. And we're going to start editing this bad boy up, I would say, by February. I know right now Carl has all the material, and we just purchased OneDrive, the cloud, so we can share files between each other. So he's uploading all of the files after he separates them all, which is like hours, like hundreds and hundreds of hours of audio and video. And once he separates the bloopers from the real stuff, then he's gonna put all of that on the OneDrive for us, and then he's gonna probably spend a couple nights here, and we're gonna edit it, and then he'll probably edit some at his place and ask my opinion to go into our OneDrive and look at what he did and see if I have any changes to make, or I can make some changes on my own if I want, stuff like that.
You know, I should have got a part in that where I come on Zoom and say, this is what I think of COVID, and then turn around, pull my pants down and moon the friggin' screen.
Nice.
That would turn your film into an R rating right there.
Although you have donated to the film, which I really appreciate, and I thank you for that. You got the your name mentioned in the movie. I know you said you wanted your picture in the movie, but we were already sold out of those, so you got your name mentioned in the movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I forget what else. If there's anything else that came with it, there might have been.
I don't know.
I know you got your name in the movie, so yep.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy to help you out.
Of course.
Yeah. I just don't I don't think there's anything I could have done here. I'll say that I like this a lot more than Pearl Harbor, though. Pearl Harbor is the worst movie I've ever seen.
Pearl Harbor was pretty bad.
That was a shitty movie.
Yeah.
But well, at least I didn't toss your film out.
I know.
I know there was one that an independent one that I got in the mail that there's no way I can watch that again. It was just terrible.
Right.
And I met the director of it at Frightmare in the Falls, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you had a little vendor there, and I'm like, yeah. How did I like your movie? Gee. It was shitty.
Yeah. And a lot of indie directors and even people like Tom McLaughlin, they all told me that it takes a good filmmaker to admit that their movie isn't the greatest, because it shows that there's faults and mistakes that were made that they realize that
so that's the problem with Michael
again.
Bay. He doesn't seem to realize most of his filmography sucks.
Yep. Absolutely.
Sucks the big metal balls that are sticking out and under that transformer.
Oh my god, yep.
Yeah.
And they all can't be as good as they were in the 80s, right? The 80s was golden. Just Friday the 13th, Halloween, I know that was 78, but yeah, like Nightmare on Elm Street. It was great.
I don't know. I'm looking at the Friday the 13th movies. I think the only two I really go back to now are parts 4 and 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I look at the others and I see an issue or an issue one way or another I have with them that is just like they're just glaring omissions every time I watch them,
Yeah.
Especially some of the later ones. Well, Jason X was a glaring omission through 95% of it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Jason X, I mean, I will watch it if it's on TV. It's usually I have the box set from Scream Factory or Shout Factory, whatever they're called. And I mean, I see myself usually going towards parts 3, 4, 6, or 7. I won't go to any of the others.
My
Like
big,
unless I'm really in the mood.
my big issue with part 3
Hmm.
is that they wrote Debbie as pregnant. There was,
Hmm.
and then they just forgot about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't find Chris very likable as a heroine. You
Yeah.
know, I felt bad. Rick should have went with Mary Jo Conrad.
Yeah. I told Tracy Savage when I interviewed her, I told her about the pregnancy thing, of course, and how it would be really cool if Debbie being pregnant would have been our final girl, because ultimately it would have been a first. Not it, like you always have like that final girl type, but a final pregnant girl who's not just fighting for her life against Jason, but also her unborn child. Like she has 2 lives pretty much in her hand to survive, and ultimately does. Like, can you imagine how cool that would be? But I think they just mentioned it. And then I don't even know if they really forgot about it per se. I think it was more of they mentioned it just so the audience knows she's pregnant. So when she gets killed, it's like, oh, he just killed an unborn baby type of thing.
No, they weren't. They forgot about it.
I
Fuck.
don't know. I don't know. I'm leaning towards that she ended up that it was just more of a shock factor of
I
and
don't
maybe
think it
part of it was
was.
forgotten too, but it's just I think they if they wanted to make her pregnant, they should have followed up with her being the final girl who is
Yep.
pregnant, fighting for 2 lives. Yeah.
And as far as part 5 goes, I think it's one of the worst directed of the
Yeah.
franchise.
Oh
That
yeah.
film is a mess in so many ways.
Yeah.
There's so many horrible uh, shots in that movie. But one
Mhm.
of my biggest issues with A New Beginning was the fact that they all but put a neon sign pointing out Roy as the freaking killer.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
hate like it's all one thing to show them uncover Joey and him reacting.
Mhm.
Okay, everybody was reacting.
Yeah.
But then him going, "Hey Roy, you want to get your hands dirty?" and it shot to him, and then shows the back of the legs going into frame, and then shows him covering the body up. And like,
Mhm. Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
were you talking to me, Sheriff? Were you talking to like
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like and they're trying to pass this up like, oh, Tommy's doing it.
Right.
Bullshit.
I my biggest problem with it was Roy being the killer. I think it could if they wanted him as the killer, there was definitely a better way to write and direct that outside of the way they obviously did it. But I think that when I first saw it as a really young kid, when I first saw it, maybe 8 years oldish. It was like the 6th in the franchise that I saw because I saw part 7 first and then went back to 1. Um, but yeah, when I first saw that scene, like the reveal, I'm like, who's that? I didn't know who it was. I didn't know who it was. I thought it was Matt Letter, the doctor, at first. Like I couldn't tell it was Roy, but I saw Matt dead, so I'm like, how can it be Matt? I didn't know. I didn't know it was Roy. I forgot about Roy because he was such a minimal character. He was in what 2 scenes, and there were scenes that set him up as the killer. But like I forgot all about him. Like, I mean, I know Scream wasn't out at the time, but Scream, like when you see the killer, 9 times out of 10, you know the character to an extent because you've seen them in multiple scenes throughout the movie.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
I to me there was just way too
Yeah.
much. Like even
Hmm.
some of the shots that were in part 5, like I think one of the worst is when they show and I spoke to Melanie Kinnaman about this. She's running out of the house and Roy's
Hmm.
coming after her, or Jason, as we're supposed to be
Hmm.
led to believe, but coming after her, and then she slips in the mud there, and she's crawling along, and she's crawling along, and then it shows him walking after her. You know, she's
Mhm.
crawling along and back and forth, back and forth.
Mhm.
Finally, you know, she's on her back, you know, and she's screaming. He's raising the machete. She's
Yeah.
screaming. He's raising the machete. Close up of her face, screaming, like raise the machete. I'm like, seriously.
Killer. Right?
Finally, Reggie comes out through, busts out through that garage and
Right.
on the tractor. But here's the thing, and people say, "Well, Greg, could you do a better job?" Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
You show a shot of her screaming, the machete going up, burst out through.
Mhm.
Then Reggie bursts out through. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Not this back and forth, back and forth,
Right.
back and forth. Oh my
Yep.
goodness, that was annoying. Another thing that I
Yep.
found terribly annoying was they get down there in the ambulance, you know, and open the door, and the paramedics
Mhm.
head flops out there with his throat slashed, and Melanie screams, and then you see, oh yeah, Roy's already dead. How the fuck did he get down there?
Yeah.
I
Yep.
know they played around that teleporting thing in part 8, but still.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And the thing is, you can't even validate the teleporting idea because it's not really Jason to begin with.
well still, like, I
Yeah.
mean, I can watch part 5, and I can I mean, I've interviewed 6
Right.
people from the movie.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't wanna shit on these people,
Right.
but um
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't
I absolutely hate the SFX on the ambulance driver Duke. I didn't like that. It was just like you could see it melting off from the rain machine because they didn't apply it properly. That was one issue I had. Another one I spoke to Melanie about on my show was the fact that like she's running through being through the woods and she has pink sweater and then it's gone, and then she has pink sweater and it's gone, pink sweater and it's gone, and that's not her fault. It's a continuity issue based on editing. Because if they, like she said, they were doing reshoots, and when she did first filmed it she had the sweater, but during reshoots she didn't have the sweater, they didn't give it to her. So it's like, why not give her that freaking sweater and have her drape it the same way? It's not that hard to go back to footage that you filmed to do reshoots and have her wear it the same way. Then when you get into editing, you're not clipping things with her wearing the sweater and then, oh, I like this running better because it's not a blooper, so we'll do it, but now she doesn't have the sweater. Now you got a reappearing and disappearing pink sweater that she didn't even like.
here's another one too, another scene that I think is so dumb in the movie. Reggie gets wakes up from his stupor. He goes
Mm-hmm.
upstairs. He goes, Tommy, are you back yet? And it's just black in the room. And then
Mm-hmm.
lightning strikes, and he sees the bodies in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. He backs out, and then there's a jump scare where Melanie touches his back, and she's like, "What's wrong, Reggie? What's wrong?" And he says, "Tommy's room." She goes in this dark room. Suddenly, lightning flashes, and she
Mm-hmm.
screams. And I'm like, "What if the lightning didn't flash?"
Right. Yeah.
I'm just like stuff like that is just so
Yeah.
unnerving to me, you know.
Right. And the one thing, like, she's supposed to be the final girl caring about this boy, which she does. But one thing I saw out of character, which I don't think was a Melanie thing, I think it had to be a directorial thing.
Oh,
When,
Danny Steinman, I don't doubt it.
yeah, and like when she's running with Reggie and he trips in the kitchen or whatever, and then she's like, "Come on, come!" Like she's like yelling at him to get his ass up and leave and get up when he just fell. It's like she's being like a bitch, and it's not Melanie. I don't think that was Melanie or her acting. I think that was a directorial thing where Danny's telling her like you have to act aggressive to get him to go. But it's like you just saw dead bodies and there's a killer on the loose. Don't yell at him like you're like like he's an issue or he's a burden. Like try to help him get up and run because you're in it together.
Yeah, and I love it how just Roy just happens to show up everywhere to
Yeah.
where they were,
Yeah.
like Demon and his girlfriend, for example, or being at the place where the paramedic is waitress
Mhm.
girlfriend. Like, why is he just showing up at these like the movie was
Yeah.
so sloppily written, it's not
Yeah.
funny, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, I can watch part 5 and I can laugh at it and appreciate some of the humor in it.
Yeah.
The New Blood is one I've had a massive problem with. And
Yeah.
that was the first one I saw in the theater.
Uh-huh.
And only now I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, this is a shit show. And I like Larberg Lincoln, you know, but
Mhm.
when you look at the final chapter and
Yep.
how appealing the characters were in that, and I always said the final chapters was the John Hughes of Friday the 13th movies,
Mhm.
because the cast had that kind of appeal.
Yeah.
But you look at the final chapters characters and you look at the New Bloods character, complete opposites in terms of
Yeah.
their appeal.
Yeah. And and most of them have the same cliche. But the way that the writing is between, it's like night and day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I've said a million times, it contained to
Yep.
me what I consider the worst scene in a Friday the 13th movie.
Mm-hmm.
Nick firing all those slugs into Jason, and he slaps the gun out of his hand and pushes him into that fucking canoe.
Yeah. And
It,
don't even mention about Alan Hawes getting his heart ripped out when Jason did that. I mean, earlier in the movie, he did the freaking same thing to Dan.
yeah, so I didn't like how they were trying to keep
Yep.
Kevin Blair's character alive, Nick. I didn't like that. It's like, why not just have number one, Nick didn't need to be, they didn't need this cousin that shows up, you know?
Yeah.
They didn't need it.
Right.
Um, they could have had one-on-one Tina. So I had a massive, although I know there's people that like the movie, I'm not one of them.
Right. I like the movie based on nostalgia itself. It was the first Friday the 13th film I've seen. It was the first horror movie I've ever seen at like 6 years old. So I was really young when I seen it, and it was the first movie I saw. I was
I,
attracted to most of the cast, male and female, and the
I
fact,
was attracted to Lar. I
yeah,
still am.
yeah. I just thought the stupidest part of the movie, not really the stupidest part, but the part that really bothered me was the lack of gore. And that's not John Carl Buechler's fault. It's the MPAA. Because as John Carl Buechler was quoted as saying, the MPAA, they raped his movie. And they really did. Yeah.
I saw that one in the theater when it came out because I remember there was somebody dressed as Jason with a fake machete ripping the tickets. And my older brother and I, neither one of us were 18, so I don't know how we get in, but we
I wasn't
did.
even born.
I saw that in the theater.
Nice.
The only one we didn't get in our town was Jason Goes to Hell. We never got that here.
Okay.
I think St. John and Moncton got it, but we didn't get it. But I saw the New Blood at the old Twin Cinemas that's no longer with us.
Mhm.
Um, I saw Jason X in the theater and immediately regretted that. I saw Freddy versus Jason in the theater and realized that Ronnie Yu is the wrong guy to be directing this.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, if this director is previously known for doll sex in Bride of Chucky, I don't know if he's the perfect person to direct a slasher film between two of the most popular slashers in pop culture and horror history.
well, I saw that in the theater. I saw the reboot in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Outside that, I saw the original at a midnight screening.
Okay.
And I saw Jason Lives in 2019 in Toronto at a
Nice.
midnight screening, and that was the best of the screenings. Was that one? Because
Mm-hmm.
Jason Lives is the one you want to see with an audience for
Yeah.
sure. You know,
Okay.
I wouldn't mind seeing the others, you know, and having a good laugh here and there, but
Yeah. I never seen the original Halloween in theaters. I never got a chance because they never show
I
it in
did.
my area. And I really want to see that in a theater.
I saw the original Halloween at a midnight screening. Actually, a few years ago, they're doing something special at our theater here that got screwed up because of management, but they have about once a month they play a classic movie at midnight. But
Yeah.
during the month of October, they played horror movies every Friday night. And I remember on this particular, like they played The Shining. There was five Fridays or Saturdays or whatever night it was in the month.
Okay.
So I saw The Shining. I saw An American Werewolf in London. I saw Psycho. That's like twice I've seen Psycho on the big screen.
Nice.
I've seen the original Halloween.
Nice.
And I saw The Exorcist.
Nice.
Yep.
Good movies to see on a big screen.
Yep. So that was fun. But I love it in Toronto because they got many different theaters. They got a lot of revival theaters.
Yeah.
So when I was there in 2019, I got the opportunity to see Black Christmas, the original one.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was nice. So
that's awesome. I know I saw The Exorcist stairs when I was in DC a couple of weeks ago, and that was really fun. That was really cool. And went down the stairs and videotaped me going down the stairs and everything.
Did you go down the stairs the same way Father Karras did?
I did not. I didn't want to die.
You didn't do that?
I think I savor my life. I don't think I want to.
You didn't want your head turned all the way backwards?
Yeah, I don't think I want that, and I don't think I want to, end up going down, like falling down the hard way on stone steps or concrete steps or whatever the steps were made of at that point. But yeah, it was nice. It was a nice experience. Now, as a couple of people asked me if I saw the Exorcist house and at the house there, and it's not right at the steps. It's like maybe like a block away. It's not far. I said I saw it. I didn't get a picture with it, unfortunately, because we needed to get an Uber right away because we were going to be late for our show that we had.
Screw the Uber. Take the picture.
I wanted to, but I did see also where the original 2007 Transformers was filmed.
Oh, fuck that. So don't go from The Exorcist to Transformers.
they had like they filmed on the street where I guess she gets the cab or whatever, and they have like a monument of the Transformers at that house or whatever, and saw that. That was pretty cool. But yeah.
Skittles, are you gonna come over?
And in New York, saw the Seinfeld apartments. I saw the apartment George, and Elaine are at.
Yeah.
Live at. I saw the Friends apartment exterior. I saw the Soup Nazi restaurant and I ate there. I saw and ate at Monk's Cafe, which is known as Tom's Restaurant in New York City. So that was really cool. I saw a lot of Home Alone 2 attractions. I saw the Plaza Hotel.
Home Alone 2 sucked. Go on.
I saw the Plaza Hotel. I saw the ice rink. I also saw the Friends Fountain, which was really cool. And I saw Central Park, of course. And yeah, it was really, really interesting seeing all these areas. And I saw the like that archway, like that has like a little bridge underneath it or whatever that was at Home Alone 2. So that was pretty cool as well. So yeah.
So you saw locations to a shitty movie?
Pretty much. But Friends and Seinfeld were my number one. I had to see those locations being in New York. I'm a big Friends and Seinfeld fan.
I like Married with Children.
Nice. That is actually pretty good though. Yeah.
I'm trying to coach Skittles to come over here. Skittles is like, you're gonna expose me on your camera. Skittles.
Shy.
No, he just he knows I'm gonna stick him on here. Well, last year I did 144 interviews. I was quite happy with that. Of course, ended the year talking to a fucking stuffed animal.
How'd that go?
Thanks, Sean Doucette. He insisted I talk to unicorn. That's my most crass interview I've ever done. And I told Sean, I said, "Are you sure you want me to do this?" At first I refused, and then he said, "Hey, it'll be different." And I thought, well, how many times have we seen Kermit the Frog interviewed or whatnot?
Right.
He has this freaking stuffed unicorn, and it's like, so I said, okay, you
Nice.
asked for it. It's the most crass interview I've done.
Nice. I had 139 interviews last year, and my last. So your last interview was a stuffed unicorn, whereas my last interview was Nancy Ann Ritter from Scream.
Hers was close to the last for me.
Nice.
Do you
And
want
then
me?
Scream came out on the Scream 5 came out this past Friday, and I had the other half of the Bathroom Girls. I had the cheerleader Lenora Scelfo or whatever. I can't pronounce her last name, but I had her on from Scream. She was the bitchy cheerleader.
I'm in talks to get her. She gives a lot of one-word
Yeah,
responses whenever I
yeah,
I need a little more than that. Let's set up a
yeah.
date and time to do the
Yeah, she did the
interview.
same to me. I end up sending her a date, and she says sure. And then I confirmed the date. I put it in. I made it happen, and then I sent her a message confirming it the night before, and she goes, "Let's do it." And then the interview happened. Hold on, let me get a text. Halloween music.
Brett Harris
Just
saying that
just confirmed in my booster appointment. But yeah, so we end up doing it. I was her very first ever interview about Scream. So we did she was a little late, but it wasn't her fault. She was trying to set up Zoom, and she got in touch with me asking me to walk through it because she didn't have Zoom set up and everything. So I walked her through it, and then we did the interview, and it was good. It was about maybe 13 to 15 minutes. She had to go because she was actually in the middle of nowhere, lamping, which is basically hunting like squirrels in the dark with a lamp. So she was able to, and I know she was being honest because where she did the interview, she was actually in a trailer, like a camper, an RV or whatever. And she said that she said she had like 15 minutes to do the interview, and I'm like, absolutely, well, I'll take advantage of it. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm having interesting encounters with people. I had one interview that I did, and I sent the person the copy of. He didn't want to come on visually on there.
Mhm,
So you got me talking like this, where you could
mhm,
see me and I'm able to hold stuff up, and him, it
right,
just shows the icon.
uh-huh,
And I guess he didn't like that. Well, it's like, I don't know how to make me just appear on the screen,
right,
like,
yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
But I could put you in touch with Unicorn if you want to do an interview with Unicorn.
I don't know if I can if I'm charismatic enough to do a stuffed animal interview. I'll take any person you send me, any indie actor,
I
indie
will
filmmaker,
send
indie author.
Unicorn to you.
But I did interview I tried to interview Eileen Dietz, but every time we set something up, like she has to cancel because something happened. The last time I had her scheduled 3 times. She had to cancel each time last minute, and the third excuse was she got home from a convention and her house was like her roof literally caved into her house.
Well, that is true.
Okay, so I'm glad it was true, but
Yeah.
I didn't know if I wanted to reach out to her again because I reached out to her 3 times. I scheduled something 3 times, and she says, "Yeah, let's do it, but I'm really busy." And then I'm like, "If you're really busy, then tell me you can't do it until X amount of date and fit me in. I'm 30 minutes of an interview. I don't do hour-long interviews, and
Why
like
not?
sometimes they get to an hour, but most times they're
Ours
like
was
between."
2 hours.
I know. Well, sometimes they're between 20 and 30 minutes. So it's like it's enough time to do a 20 to 30 minute interview. Like you can make time to do an interview for just 30 minutes. Like I'm very busy, but I make time for all my interviews. You know.
I had to lean on twice. I
Yeah,
love talking to her. She sent
nice.
me some Pazuzu statuettes here.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, and I got the Exorcist script from her. She signed. No, she's well worth it if you can get her, especially if she
I'm
does a
gonna try
plug.
again.
If she does a plug for your show, she'll do it in her Pazuzu voice.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I would love to have her on. And I will reach. I've been planning on reaching out to her again, but it's like I have so many people that want to come on my show that I'm reaching out to people that are going to actually show up and not cancel at the last
Why
minute.
not get Marley Renfro Peterson from Psycho?
I could do that.
She was Janet Leigh's shower scene stunt double.
Okay. Yeah. Because the thing is, like, what I hate about last minute cancellations is that if you aren't 100, I understand things come up, it's life, I get that, but once, great, second time, okay, but usually when it's the third time or more, I'm thinking it's an excuse at that point, or it's something that, like, it's really big coincidences that something keeps coming up during our specific time and our specific day. So it's like I have other people that want to come on my show that I could book them in that will show up on these dates. So if you can't do it this date, then tell me that date doesn't work for you. Or I get it if it happens once or twice, but 3 times or more is usually, it's like very big. It's got to be the biggest coincidence that it happens my date, my time for a third, for more than 3 times. It's like, is it really like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's like, I want people that are gonna show up, and I don't mind having to postpone, but those spots that I'm rescheduling you with for a third, fourth, or fifth time could be to somebody else that needs their once exposure that will show up and do an interview with me. You know what I mean?
Another person I would send your way is Brendan Maggart, who was
Okay.
the Killer Santa in Christmas Evil.
Okay. I can go for that.
He's 88 years old, but he's well spoken.
Nice. I just booked Cody Knotts for we were in talks for months, but then I think it was his mom, if I'm not mistaken, that passed away.
Something like that happened. Yeah.
Yeah, and I understood that because my dad passed away, so I do understand that. His mom passed away around the time my dad did, so I completely got that. And we were in talks probably since last summer, and then I know he was taking it hard, so he's like, I can't do it this time, I can't do it this time, I can't do it this time, and I'm like, okay. So but I kept working with him because he's telling me he can't do it this time. Like, he's not like making the appointment at like the interview and then canceling last minute knowing full well he couldn't do it, which I respect.
Have you seen Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies yet?
I haven't, but I do plan on watching it before the interview, and the interview I believe is next week. Yeah.
It's one of those so bad it's good movies.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact that you have Matt Hardy, Roddy Piper, and that, so on and so forth in it is pretty epic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not just having them in a movie, like, it's not like a wrestling movie per se. It's like they're in a movie with fucking zombies. That's freaking badass.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're also involved with Reunion from Hell too.
Actually, I had a drop because unfortunately, because my mom and her best friend who were going to take me down there for the filming and everything, they got COVID. They just tested positive for COVID.
Your mom
And
did?
my mom did, yes. She tested positive this past week, unfortunately. So I told Hayden, she's disappointed, but completely understands. And I told Hayden that I will be more than happy to promote Reunion from Hell 2. And I said, if there's a third one, count me in. And she said, yeah, we'll get you in the third one. But I just had a drop about a week ago. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm very upset about that because I was really looking forward to being in it. I had a really good scene for it. I was in like 40 or 45 minutes of the movie and had a really good death and everything. But unfortunately, COVID fucks things up, unfortunately, for a lot of people. And I wouldn't mind driving myself, but I'm not the city type of driver. I don't want to drive to Tennessee by myself. Or even drive, even if I have a passenger, like if Kyle went or whatever, I don't want to be that driver. I don't feel comfortable driving to Tennessee. And also I was around my mom when she, around the time she was tested positive. So I'm quarantining here. I didn't get tested for it, but I don't know if I have it. But I don't have any symptoms and I'm vaccinated. But yeah, I wasn't going to risk, if I did have it, giving it to anybody on set. It just was a responsible thing I had to do. Yeah.
Just eat some stale cereal.
Yeah, right. The almighty power of the cereal. But I don't think I have it. I really don't think I have it, but I could. There's that chance that I could, and if I do, I don't want to give it to anybody else. I know my mom did test positive, and so did her best friend. Now, my mom's vaccinated, and she only has a head cold, but her best friend isn't vaccinated, and she is very, very sick, like very tired, very weak, body aches everywhere, can barely get out of bed. Like she's very, very sick, and then I just found out about a couple days ago that my Aunt Leslie was around my mom, and so was my Aunt Jeanette, and now both of them tested positive. Jeanette's really, really sick, and my Aunt Leslie just has a head cold, but both are vaccinated though. So yeah, it's just crazy at this point. Like, and I just don't want to risk giving anything to them. And I'm just staying home really. The only time I really did go out was Scream, and I actually went to a very early in the day showing when everybody was at work, because I had the day off. And I ended up seeing it, and me and Kyle were the only ones in the theater. Let's just say that, because I already had my tickets and I couldn't get a refund. So I made sure that nobody else was in the theater on the day that we got our tickets, and because I knew I was exposed, so that's what I did, and nobody was there, so everything was cool. So we didn't get like all of our food. I made sure Kyle got all that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I've had Hayden on here a couple times, and I'm gonna have him on a third. And yeah, I got Reunion from Hell on Blu-ray. He sent it to me, and I'll be frank, I thought the movie was better than I thought it was gonna be. I was actually surprised that Hayden was actually really good in it.
yeah,
Shocked the shit out of me.
yeah. I'm in talks with having Hayden on a second time, possibly next week before they start filming. I just booked Lydia Manson from the movie, and
Oh, I like her.
yeah, she asked me if I'm feeling okay, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing good. I don't have any symptoms or anything like that. I mean, she asked me how my mom and her friend are doing. I'm like, my mom's good. Her friend is really, really sick. Unfortunately, I really wanted to go down, but shit happens. It's life. And does it piss me off? You're damn right it does, because I was really looking forward to being in this movie. I was really looking forward to it, and Hayden literally wrote the part for me. And the fact that I can't bring this character to life, kind of sucks, because I was really looking forward to it.
Did you see Lydia's Doubtfire challenge that she did on my show?
Yes, I did. She's amazing. She's funny.
Yeah, Angel Bradford said she's open to the Doubtfire challenge. It's funny, these people are open to it, but these bigger names, I can't. It's hard to get them to fucking budge. Even
Right, and the
after,
funny thing is the bigger names, they have more money than the smaller people or the not well-known people do, and the
yeah,
well-known people are spending the money to get it, and it only cost $1 or $2, maybe 3 at the most.
yeah, I'm to the point now where I'm just tired of it. When you get to the point where I just say, fuck it, I don't want your perks for the movie,
Yeah,
you know you've crossed the line for me.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
And it's funny because I think most of them on there are ignorant to the fact of why I said
yeah,
no to the perks. I don't know what perks I'm supposed to get, but I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of it.
yeah,
I get it, but I'm not part of the clique.
yeah,
I get it,
yeah.
you know.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, what else do you got to promote?
Well, I'm signed by 3 iBooks out of Reno, Nevada. They are
Oh,
my and Eric Lincoln is in charge of there, and he is my literary agent, and we are working on another Halloween trivia book. I can't say the title of it or anything yet. We're still, contracting not to say anything about it, just what it is. Pretty much it is my trivia, it's trivia books from, all the Halloween movies, including Halloween Kills. And then I'm also including my interviews with all of the people I interviewed from the Halloween franchise. I had to, obviously reach out to, like, say, Sandy Johnson and X, Y, and Z, like everybody interviewed, and be
I
like,
love
hey,
Sandy.
yeah, I'm like, hey, I know you did an interview for my podcast. I discussed that by a literary agent. We want to include the interviews in my books. Is that okay? And they say yes or no. And then I put them in. Nobody had an issue. So yeah, I had an interview with. So in the book, you're gonna see Tom Proctor, who played the motorist in part 6. You had I have Sandy Johnson, of course. Jeffrey Landman, who played the stuttering pirate Billy in part 5. I have Dee Wallace from the 2007 Halloween, from Rob Zombie. I have Daniel Farrens, who wrote Halloween 6. I have Alan Howarth, who composed Halloween 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe. And then I had who else did I include? No, there's a couple more, but yeah, and all of them. I also have the phone numbers of Dick Warlock and Nick Castle, obtained by my talent agent, Tim.
I've had Dick Warlock on before.
Yeah.
I'd never had Nick Castle.
Yeah, I sent them a voicemail, but I never heard anything back. So my agent said that here's their email. Send them an email, or you can call them again and leave them another message, because they have a phone number that goes that like a phone line that goes straight to voicemail, because it's their business line. So you leave a message and then they give you a call back if they're interested.
Don't call Judy Aronson, because you'll either get somebody on that's the wrong number, or the same
cousin.
number. There's her cousin. So there's a stranger and her cousin, both on that same line.
That's insane.
It's so insane,
Yeah.
Judy's cousin and a total stranger. Wonder if they know. I mean, I wonder if the strangers like kind of like this guy that was in. Of course, it was a woman that answered, but I wonder if it's the same as that guy that was in Real Genius, that gets up in the middle, goes back into hiding. In his little secret door. I wonder if Judy.
We need to get some type of private investigator to determine if if anybody's like hacking the line or something, or if they're aware that there's somebody else on the other end of that line.
You know what I should do? I should get Sean Doucette to put another one of his little puppets up there and say, "Hey, I got Judy Aronson's cousin here on the show."
Horrible.
I want to talk to you about whoever it's in your house,
Yeah. Oh my.
You don't think that would piss her off?
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, she asked for it.
Yeah.
She asked for it. We gotta talk some wrestling, but I gotta bring some over,
Did I show you the voicemail I got from Ron Sloan?
I think you did, yeah, for your birthday that time.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know if I
you
showed you
did.
that or not.
Yeah, you did. Just a second here. I'll bring some wrestlers over.
Sounds good. And I'll be right back.
Oh, gee, Scotty disappeared.
I have a surprise to show you.
What, your panties? I don't want to see that. Holy fuck, man.
There they are.
Show those to Brett Harris, for fuck's sake.
They are the infamous Geordie underwear.
Show those to Tyler Ebert. Look what I got for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Roddy Piper.
Nice.
Yeah, my brother got me that. Yeah, I love the rubber ones that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Throw those down flight of stairs.
Roddy Piper, such a stand-up guy, and I hate to say this, but His daughter really rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh,
Remember I told you what happened? I reached out for an interview and she wants to charge me $100 for like a half an hour.
I hope she doesn't do that to me. I've had her on here 3 times, once by
Right.
herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad because like I reached out to her to giving her, publicity for nothing and she wants to charge me. It's like I don't pay for interviews. I got people like Dee Wallace, Naomi Grossman, Michael Manning, Patricia Darbo, people that are bigger names that I actually, really like, and I got them for nothing. Terry Kaiser, and then I end up having to pay her $100 for a 30-minute interview. No, I don't pay. I
Yeah.
got big names for free, so no.
I like Teal Piper too. I think she's beautiful. We just lost this guy recently.
Corporal Kirshner.
Yeah.
Yep.
WrestleMania 2, he battled Nikolai Volkov in a flag match.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me see. What else do we have? Show off my toys.
Oh yeah.
This is like one of the best ones.
Yep.
Perfect
Man.
Macho Man pose.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to have a bunch of those when I was younger too. I sold them all. It was just
Oh man, I love these. I went to a flea market and got a bunch of them, but I also got a bunch of them on at Toronto Comic Con.
Nice. Trying to think who that is. Hard to tell.
Oh, a hardcore champion.
Why can't I see that one?
This guy, this is the guy this is the real hardcore guy.
Terry Funk? No,
Yeah.
Terry Funk.
Yeah. What the
Yeah.
fuck were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it looked like I seen when you showed him from the side. It kind of looked like Jake the Snake Roberts at first, but I was like, no, that's Terry Funk. Jake the Snake Roberts is the hardcore guy. Although he could
I
be.
got Jake.
There's Jake.
I got Jake. Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yep. Yep. Love Jake.
Yeah, I love Jake. I'm looking. Why can't I get that one? Yeah.
Is that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my favorites.
Yep.
The Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them is hard to see the face in the figure. I don't know why.
The Ultimate Champion.
Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah. Bruno's the best.
I think I told you this when I interviewed you in December, but I saw Bruno Sammartino in Madison Square Garden get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2013.
Yeah.
Yep, him. I saw Mick Foley got inducted. Trish Stratus. Yep.
We just lost this guy.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we just lost Mr. Wonderful.
Yep.
Most famous for his big feud with Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
Yeah.
First ever WrestleMania.
Well, yeah. It was a tag team match, though.
Yep.
He was teamed with this guy.
Yep, Hot Rod Roddy Piper, and they had Cowboy Bob Orton in their corner, and they fought Hulk Hogan and Mr. T with Jimmy Superflash Snuka in theirs.
I'll never understand why it wasn't a 6-man tag.
Yeah, I know.
I never got that.
Yep, and then of course the iconic, legendary Muhammad Ali was the special guest referee. Yep.
Yep. Orndorff ended up taking the fall.
Yep.
Yep. Gee, I got so many of these. I gotta get more. I definitely gotta get more. Here's another one I like.
Gorilla Monsoon. I mean, not Gorilla Monsoon. George the Animal Steel. I don't know.
George Animal Steel.
Yeah. Where did I get Gorilla Monsoon from? Probably from Animal.
Well,
Gorilla Animal.
George the Animal Steel was, or excuse me, Gorilla Monsoon was a hell of a performer, though.
Was.
I mean, he almost took the belt off Superstar Billy Graham.
Yep.
Yep.
Animal Steel, eat that turnbuckle.
That's right. Yeah, I always love the likenesses of these. And now there's a place online called Etsy, Random
Yep.
Treasures.
Yep.
You can get, they make customs.
Nice.
They're expensive though, but I got a custom made.
Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. He was never an original LJN, but
Nice.
yep, this was really
How much,
good.
if I may ask?
This came to 200.
Oof.
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
100 if it wasn't painted, but there was no way I was going to paint that.
Right.
They did a lot of them that were never done as LJNs. They just lately did a Ric Flair, and boy,
Nice.
and the Legion of Doom, and I'm like, it's tempting.
Yeah.
Very, very tempting.
Yeah. But if you're gonna do the Legion of Doom, like especially in the packaging, like you have to label it as the Road Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just the most iconic name of them. Iron Sheik.
That's right. He's gonna put you in the camel clutch and make you humble.
I love him.
Oh yeah. The Iron Sheik.
Lost
Cheeky
the
baby.
title, I believe it was in Madison Square Garden against Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
Yep. Right before WrestleMania 1. I don't think it was that much. Was it like a year, maybe a couple months before?
No, it was January 1984.
Yeah, so it was about a year and some months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Kind of thing. Is that one of the Bushwhackers?
Nope.
No. Who the hell is that?
You don't know who this is?
Trying to think. I can't picture it. It's not Cowboy Bob Orton, is it?
No.
No.
This is the only figurine I think was ever done of this guy.
Can't think of who that is. I can see the face. I just can't freaking get the name.
Yeah. He was only in WWE for a short time.
Yeah.
But I remember him well.
I can only no, not George Wells.
No, wasn't George Wells.
Oh, I can't think of who that is.
This is Outback Jack.
Okay. I saw the face, couldn't think of the name.
Outback Jack. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that name wasn't coming to me anytime soon.
No.
No, I totally lost that name.
Wonder why.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't in the company that long though.
No. But
do you have any women wrestlers?
No, not like this.
Oh, okay.
Not like this.
They could make some really classics like a Luna Vachon, Mae Young.
The only one that was done as an LJN was Elizabeth, and I don't have her. Yep, she was the only LJN woman.
I mean, obviously, I'm just surprised she's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
because
I'm surprised a lot of stuff when it comes to Vince.
Yeah, but the thing is, like Macho Man got in. Why the fuck did they not put Elizabeth with Macho Man? I get they weren't married anymore, but as a team in wrestling back in the 80s, they were the Bonnie and Clyde. They were the group that when you think of Macho Man, you think of Elizabeth and vice versa. Like they were a team together. There was no Macho Man without Elizabeth. There was no Elizabeth without Macho. Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Yep. No. Anyway, you got any other projects coming up you want to promote?
Oh yeah, Heavy Duty Man. I'm going to be filming Heavy Duty Man, I believe end of April, early May, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's like the last weekend of April, early weekend of May.
Mhm.
I will be HD Mac, who is the heavy duty man before he becomes the heavy duty man. I'm going to be in the first part of the
So
movie.
what do you mean heavy
First half.
duty? Like you take a heavy duty in your boxers?
Nope. So heavy duty man. So HD Mac, my character, is a lazy, bullied, fat ass that gets picked on and whipped with towels and made fun of and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And I have a love interest called Bad Bertha. And I didn't get the full version of the script. We only filmed the trailer for the Indiegogo, and if we didn't make our funds, the movie would not be greenlit. And we made our funds on the very first donation.
Oh, really?
Yes, we are greenlit. We just start filming. So I'm basically the one that gets bullied by weightlifters, by yoga instructors, by a gang of skinny people. It's basically what they call a fat exploitation, which is like so bad it's good type of movie, Grindhouse. So I'm basically that one that gets bullied, and then I pretty much am sick of it. I don't want to be bullied anymore. I don't want to be a fat ass that basically can't stand up for himself. So I meet this mad scientist and I drink a potion that turns me into this badass fat ass kicking machine. So I end up turning into what they call heavy duty man. And then that role is going to be the second half of the movie, played by Jeremy Ogre Amos. And Jeremy Ogre Amos, his character, the heavy duty man, will be basically getting revenge on all the people that bullied me, or shall I say him, when he was me. So he'll be getting revenge on the yoga instructors, the weightlifters, the gang of skinny people, and all that stuff. And basically, this fat ass heavy duty man is the one that gets revenge on his bullies and takes their girl. So yeah,
Oh, yeah, he takes the girl?
he takes the girl, Bad Bertha, played by Heather Harlow. Yeah,
Heather Harlow.
think I don't know if you interviewed her. I think I tagged her in one of your posts when you were asking for people to interview. She's been in quite a number of things. I know she was in. She's gonna be in Heavy Duty Man. She was, I can't remember a couple of things she's in. I know there's a couple of big films coming up that she was in, or past films that she was in, but I can get all that information then. But she was in quite a number of things. I believe she was in Valentine Bluffs, the I think the My Bloody Valentine fan film that they're making, and she's in a couple of other things. So yeah, she's gonna be playing Bad Bertha. Yeah. Yeah. And no, Chris Ridings is in it. You met Chris when you were on our podcast To the Movies, which check that out on
Okay.
Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcast, To the Movies, where we do movie reviews. Greg was on our 6th episode discussing part 6 of Friday the 13th. But Chris is going to be playing a character named Lunchbox, who is basically the biker of the skinny people. And in the trailer, he's the one that ended up basically riding the bike, and basically the tire goes up my hole. And then I squeal.
Oh, I see a
But
picture of on the Indiegogo of you on your hands and knees and two women
yep, yep,
by you. Is one of those Amanda?
yep, Amanda, and the other one is I believe it's Carly Rosenthal. I believe that's how you pronounce her first name. Yep.
This actually sounds like it might be interesting.
Yeah, it really is. We made our budget. I mean, not our budget, but our goal for Indiegogo, I believe, was like $500, if I'm not mistaken. And the first donation was the $500 executive producer perk, and so we automatically got greenlit. And we made almost, if I could be wrong, but we made, I believe, close to $2,000. Yeah. So we made pretty decent amount of money off of it, and yeah, it's gonna be great. I don't know if you saw the trailer. I can send you the trailer. It's actually pretty funny. You can see me pretty much naked with a towel around me in the gym locker room getting whipped.
Do
Yep.
I really need to see that?
Oh, it's funny. It's funny.
Really?
It wasn't funny when filming it. It actually hurt like a bitch. Getting like pissed on, like getting whipped on your bare ass pretty much with a towel over you. Yeah, that hurt. Yeah. It was fun. It was fun, and definitely check that out. I don't know any release dates. All I know is the plan is before the end of the year, because we're only filming 2 days I think it's a full feature, but they're gonna be longer days, and it's just a movie. We're gonna have fun. It's so bad, it's gonna be good. It's a grindhouse, fatsploitation, film. It's gonna be great. It stars myself, Chris Ridings, Amanda Megan, uh, Heather Harlow, Jeremy
It gonna
O'Grady,
be as
Russell
good as
Crowe.
Thanksgiving.
It's gonna be better. Thanksgiving got a freaking musical. We're going on Broadway, bitch. I'll be on Broadway, getting my ass, bullied and whipped, and yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Definitely
Yeah.
a movie to check out. We, like I said, start filming it end of April, early May. Yeah, and so definitely check that out. I can't wait to film that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And we're filming that. I believe it's gonna be in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, which is like an hour away from where I live. So definitely check that out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other projects you get coming up?
Think of course, check out To the Movies, which is a podcast that me, Chris Ridings, and his wife Rowan, we end up basically do movie reviews and discuss in depth the different films. So right now we're on the Friday the 13th franchise, where we just finished part 6. Sometimes we have a guest host, and Greg was one of them on the past episode, and that is live. So you can check those out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and any other podcasting platform.
You don't
We
have those
film.
on YouTube?
They're not on YouTube. They're only audio. They're audio only. They're not a YouTube one. So yeah, definitely you can check those out. They're pretty long, between an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, give or take. And This weekend we film I believe part 7. I don't think we're doing a Saturday, because me and Kyle get our booster on Friday. So we don't know how we're gonna feel on Saturday. So right now the plan is to film that on Sunday, and hopefully have it out sometime in the middle of the week. But depending how I feel, we might push it back a weekend, but we don't know yet. So it really depends. Probably not gonna have a guest on that one, just because we don't like, the dates are really up in the air at this point because of everything going on. So check that out. Of course, check out Slasher Scotty on. You can check out the interviews on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all the podcasting platforms. But not all of them are. But the most recent ones, probably for the past over a year, episodes are all Zoom. Sometimes I'll have audio only, depending on the guest requests, but mostly they're Zoom video interviews. So you can check those out on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/C/Slasher Scotty. That's just what YouTube does for channel. So check that out. You can see the Zoom interviews. I had guests like Dee Wallace, Naomi Grossman, Michael Manning, Patrika Darbo, Michael Berryman. So I had some pretty good guests. Terry Kaiser, you can check out. Susan Blue from Part 7. Laura Park Lincoln is on there, and I just interviewed last night Jessica Hotman from
I've
Roseblood.
had her on.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was probably one of my better interviews. I was really pleased with that, and I'm speaking with the director of Roseblood, who was also on my show and is a good friend of mine, and he's looking into getting me Kevin Spiritus, who played Nick in Part 7, and is returning to Days of Our Lives as Dr. Craig Wesley. So I want to promote him as his character on Days, because I'm a big Days of Our Lives fan. So I'm waiting to hear back from Peter on that, and then he's also planning on getting me a Rose from the film as well. So we're in
He's
talks.
getting you a rose.
He's getting me a Rose from Roseblood. Yeah, I'm excited to interview her, and I know she was also in Vengeance, so definitely check that out. And of course, you can like me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Slasher Scotty. Facebook.com/Slasher Scotty, or my author/acting page, which is Facebook.com/S McCoy author. And then I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at S McCoy author as well. And then of course, I've got to promote Gravestone Films. We have 72 and starting a post-production, and we have a little bit of filming to do, but nothing major. But the majority, I would say 98% of principal photography is done, and we're looking at a August or September of this year premiere. Not sure about release yet. We don't know if we're going the festival route or if we're gonna go the route of self-distribution or find an actual distributor. So me and Carl are gonna actually talk about that post premiere. So we're looking at an August-September premiere, but it could change depending on any issues that post-production may have. We don't know how that will go. So stay tuned, and you can find all that information out by going to our Facebook fan page, which is facebook.com/Gravestone Films, or you can go to our Instagram, which is Gravestone Films Prod, I believe, and Twitter is Gravestone Film without the S. And then you can check out, lastly but not least, To the Movies. You can go to our YouTube, our Facebook, which is I believe To the Movies podcast. And then you can check out the Twitter, which is To the Movies 1, and Instagram is long. It's 2_the_movies_podcast. So those are pretty much all of my links and everything. So definitely check those out, and any of the podcasts, likes, rate, subscribe, comment, and of course subscribe to my Slasher Scotty YouTube channel, because I'm trying to grow there. I get most of my viewership is on the audio format, because most people, kind of like yourself, you like to listen to it when you work, or if you're driving or whatever, people like to do that. But my YouTube, if you're at home and you want to sit down and watch the interviews, because most of them are on Zoom, you can check there, and obviously subscribe there. My YouTube isn't as big as my audio platform, because the audio, obviously, most people will listen to when they're working or driving. So definitely subscribe to YouTube.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, did you get hit with a snowstorm like we did?
We got about 1 to 1, maybe 2 inches. They were calling for like 5 to 8, but we ended up getting like 1 or 2. And it wasn't that bad. A couple weeks ago, we got nailed. When we were in DC, we got a lot. And we had to come back, and our train was delayed, so we ended up taking an Uber, which would cost me over $100 from DC to Maryland, because our train was delayed for 3 hours. We were still waiting, and when we got home, we got home maybe about it was probably about 5 hours gone by since our train was supposed to depart, and it was still delayed. So I made the good decision of Ubering, but my anxiety was at an all-time high because the roads were horrible, and our Uber driver was a champ. He did a good job driving us, because we got home safe and sound. But yeah, that was pretty bad, and we got about maybe 4 or 5 inches that day. So that was beginning of January, after the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It was great to have you on here 6 times.
Of course. Let's
6
aim for number 7
times.
next year.
Yeah. Well, I'm always open to having you on here. So yeah, it's always fun, and ribbing you.
Well, how can you not rib these beautiful Jordan underwear with my face plastered all over them? Available only in Gravestone Film Shop. Not really.
How many
Although
pairs?
these are going to be your gift, Greg. I need your address, because you're going to get a little
No, I
unboxing video
don't.
from
Well,
me,
you're not getting my address, you little shit.
If you can do this for your unboxing video, unboxers video. There you go.
Let me see. The new version of Scotty. Let me see. Oh yeah, we got the new version of Scotty McCoy.
There we go. There you go, Adrian Adonis.
Yeah, this is the new Scotty.
And Brett loves my boxers, despite what he says.
I bet Brett loves your boxers.
See? I have to take a picture of this and send this to Brett now.
Yes, you do. I think Brett
Yes,
needs.
I will do it right now, right on camera, to prove that I'm not chickening out.
I think Brett needs to see that.
Yes. There we go. Picture, and I'll do the back of it as well, or the side of it, so you can see what's on it. There you go. Pictures taken. I'll send that to Brett once we wrap the interview. But obviously I talk to Brett. I don't talk to him every day, but I talk to him quite frequently. But when you see Brett on Thursday, tell him I said hi and thank you for everything you've done for me and Gravestone Film, because he's a trooper. He would do anything for us, and he really is a great guy, great friend, and I consider him family. And he said the same about me. So
he did the Doubtfire challenge as well, but I think
Yep.
he's going to drag his wife into this.
Nice. Honestly, I don't think anybody could beat Tyler's.
Tyler's was great. I loved it when he hauled off and belted his sister with that pie.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's typical Tyler too.
And
Typical
he
Tyler.
hit her in the face with it dead on. Like he
Yeah.
just threw that thing. What an aim,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And she was still laughing, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the
I wish Amanda's could have been better, but
truth.
I've kind of given up on her. She doesn't
Yeah.
like me anymore.
Yeah.
She doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I was upset about that for like a minute.
Yeah, Amanda is a good friend of mine. Went to high school with her, and she helped a lot with Gravestone Films. I can't thank her enough for as much help she has given us, and she continues to help us, obviously. And I mean, I really do thank her for that. Yeah, yeah,
Right. Okay.
yep. And of course, I want to give a shout out to Carl Miller. He directed, wrote, did the camera work and everything, and he's helping me with the editing for 72. And without him, 72 wouldn't even see the light of day. Like, he really put in hours and hours of this. And after the script was done, me and him, we really did a lot of casting, and we did a lot of prepping for location scouting and all that stuff. And I took a bulk of the load for the Indiegogo, which was a lot. We raised $4,400 or so on the Indiegogo, which is really good for our first feature that was in the limelight, I would say, because Samhain really wasn't known at the time. We didn't have any connections like a Noelle Burger or anything at the time of filming that. We had nobody. It was us. Originally, it was supposed to be a low budget YouTube web series, and then it just blossomed, from there. Like, it just happened. And it was inexperienced, and we weren't prepared, and we didn't have any funds or any of that stuff. So obviously it shows in the movie. But then obviously the good thing from Sound was it introduced us to the likes of Noelle Burger, and everybody in the indie horror community, and it ended up bringing me towards you and Hayden Newman and all that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it really helped me out. Obviously I met you before Sound, but I mean, like, it helped bring me somewhere. Like, it actually helped Slasher Scotty. Like, Slasher Scotty really blossomed ever since Samhain. Not because it's a good movie, but because people see I'm trustworthy, and I'm a good person, and I love to help the indie community.
I like sending people your way.
Yeah.
I mean, you did Salem, and you got
Yeah.
72. What's your
Yeah.
next film after that going to be?
So me and Carl are currently in talks. Don't want to say much about it because we really didn't officially land on anything. We want to do, quote unquote, another horror type comedy, but focusing on comedy. We want to try something different than pure horror. That is just something we're talking about. It isn't set in stone yet. It isn't confirmed. It isn't like, nothing is like locked, cock, lock, and loaded. Like, it's just something that we discussed, but we're gonna kind of really look at what our next project's going to be and come down to the wire of something, hopefully by the premiere of 72, so we can kind of announce it ahead of time on there, and say we might not even have a working, like, an actual title. We might just come up with a random title for a working title, say this is what the movie's going to be, a working title, and what it's about, and that's going to be our next project. Stay tuned for a casting call. But we don't know yet what the route we're going to go, but we're aiming towards horror comedy, mainly focusing on the comedy. But me and Carl kind of have a little difference of opinion on that, because I'm a big horror buff and he really wants to focus on something comedic. But we are really good friends, and we are really good at communicating, and we're really good at working together as well. So we will be able to come up with a compromise that'll please us both. I'm pretty confident of that. Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to that. And
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you know what? It was great to have you on here today for
Absolutely.
your
Thank you.
6th. Yeah.
Mhm.
How the book sales going?
They're going good. I mean, I'm not really promoting my past books at all. And in December, I made almost, I think it was like $400 or $500 on royalties, which I only make like $3 or $4 per sale. So I sold a lot of books, and most of them were the Halloween trivia books. So I sold a lot of those books without any promotion on my part in December, probably because of the holidays. Like my peak is between August, September into December. Like those are my peak months. And I really sold a lot in December, and I don't see that money until February, which will be next month. Because I don't, the way they pay out on royalties is you get like 2 months. It's like 2 months in advance or whatever. So like anything in December, I'll get in February. Anything in January, I'll get in March. So they pay you for the current month 2 months later. So like this month, at the end of this month, I'm getting November's sales, which I believe were like $300, which is still a pretty nice chunk of change.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's wonderful having you on here again today. And yeah, I'll
Of
be
course.
open to having you on again next year. And
Absolutely.
yeah, 6 times. That's pretty interesting. I
Yeah.
haven't had a lot of guests on here 6 times. So
Yeah, and we every single time we always find something new to talk about. And we always have something different to promote, which is exciting. Like, we always, like, I believe the first time was just my Friday the 13th trivia book, and then it was the Halloween one, and then it was the books I wrote on my dad, and then it was Samhain, and now it's 72. So next time is probably going to be another movie that we're working on, or another movie I'm in.
absolutely. No, open to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you go out and shovel your driveway or whatever it is you need to do.
I'm going to go and cook and probably continue watching How to Get Away with Murder before my interview tonight. I have I think his name is, let me see. He approached me for an interview. It's Daniel John Kearney, and he is in Massacre Academy and the upcoming Wolf Hollow. So
Okay,
I'll be interviewing
I've
him tonight.
spotlighted those.
Yeah.
I got Les Nolan reached
Okay.
out to me.
Yep.
So I think that's
Yeah.
my next one will be later tonight.
And you'll be talking about a movie similar to mine, but different. Samhain.
Samhain.
Yep, same movie. But he actually, a funny story about that quick, and he'll probably tell you it. But I interviewed him and I added him, not knowing he was involved with that movie. And he said to me that he saw my movie there and saw it was copyrighted, to the fact that he had to change his movie name from Samhain to Les Nolan's Samhain in order to avoid, I guess, copyright infringement. Yep. So that was interesting. That was an interesting story he told, but you'll have a good interview with him. Great guy. So definitely tell him I said hi.
Yeah, I got him, and yeah, I got interviews.
Nice.
I think the only day I don't have one is the 22nd,
Nice.
Saturday. So,
Okay.
but
Awesome.
I've had interviews every day since last Sunday.
Wow. Yeah, I try not to burn myself out, especially, working for, 40 hours a week and running Gravestone Films and being in other movies and all these other stuff I got going on. So I usually will, like, when I do my interviews, I usually like to give myself Saturdays and Sundays off. And then I usually try to give myself one day during the week if possible off. So, but I know I think it was November was my record. I had like 20 something or 19 or something like that people on my show. And I think I interviewed like at least one person, every day for like 2 weeks straight. And I think 3 of those days I had 2 or 3 people on. So it gets exhausting. So kudos to you.
My record is 31 in April
Nice.
of 2017. But this month, if everyone goes according to plan, so far 22.
Nice. Kudos to you, because a lot of people don't realize it's not easy doing interviews, because like I do a lot of prep for my interviews. I don't know how you really do yours. I know yours is really on the fly, but I know that like it's just it's a very time consuming. It's not that we don't enjoy doing it, but we don't really make money off of it. We're doing it because we enjoy it, and we take our time out of our schedule outside of our work and our personal lives to do these. And a lot of people don't realize that they aren't as easy as they seem. Like they are work. It is work. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Well, I thank you so much, Greg, for having me on again. I really do enjoy coming on here. And I guess the next time people will see us together on here, if it's not onto the movies, will definitely be your interview in December of the end of this year. So,
Well, I'm open to it. Let's do
absolutely.
it. Let's
We'll
do
do
it.
it.
And if I suggested a few people to you, and I'll bring more
Mhm.
people your way.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Really do.
All right. Well,
All
you
right.
have yourself a good day, and
You too.
continue to haunt Brett Harris with those
I will.
boxers.
I will. You have a good rest of your day, man.
Take it easy, man.
Yep. Bye.
Yeah, bye.